letter, I want you to know that everything that you have to be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Yes. Watch this. Put on the whole armor of God that you might be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. So you're trying to tell me, as blessed as I am, I still got to be concerned about the devil. Uh-oh. Y'all ain't saying nothing here. I'm just going to talk to you, baby, since only you and I came to church this morning. You're trying to tell me, as anointed as I am, Demetrius, as gifted as I am, with all this hope I have, all this faith I have, glory to God, the victory I know I have, that I will not compromise. You trying to tell me, Paul, that I still got to be concerned about the tricks and deceptions of the devil?
Yes. All day.
I'm thinking that's not half this thing. The devil should get afraid and run. He should leave me alone because he know I'm blessed. But that's, see, that, oh, I ain't getting into that this morning. That's for Friday. See, but that's another thing that we got to understand. You trying to tell me, as gifted as I am, as much as my wife loves me, as much as y'all appreciate me, Lord help me with that. Amen. You trying to tell me I still got to be concerned about the devil? But he defeated. Amen. Y'all ain't staying with me. He defeated. Jesus rose up and gave us eternal victory. He defeated him at the cross. He took his power away. He rose up to take away the power of sin. Why? Paul telling me, I still got to be concerned with all this grace I have. Good God from Zion. Listen, one of the things that God's dealing with me on, I'm trying to stay away from there. One of the things we have to understand is that as the kingdom of God, see what I'm talking about right here, no, Lord help me, don't go there, Holy Spirit. Listen, one of the things you have to understand, because I went to a meeting on Thursday with some pastors, and we were talking about social injustice, and the thing came up about the systemic racism. Somebody said that's real. Systemic racism is real. But God began to deal with me on that, Melinda, and he said, the problem with that, Charles, is that we have a systemic issue in the church, and we're trying to deal with a systemic issue in the world. Come on. Because in this church, we are dealing with systemic deception. Y'all ain't ready for this. We have been deceived. Deception has come in it's a system of deception we're living under right now. And as me, as a leader, as God's apostle, before I go out there marching, trying to free and give people their rights out in the world, I got to focus on giving you your rights in church. Yeah. Oh, y'all ain't saying that. Because I'm off a mess a little bit. If the church is free, then the world will be free. Amen. But we so focused trying to be seen as pastors, trying to make a statement that we have you right before us, and you're not free to be who you are. Come on. You're not free to walk in who you are, because the devil is out there deceiving. And he's deceiving us so much that it becomes a system. See, when things become systematic, it becomes a stronghold. Come on. Because listen, racism in this country is a stronghold. The law has been passed. The Bill of Rights has been passed, and still that stronghold is keeping people from voting. Amen. It's keeping minorities from being who they can really be in this country. Are you ready for this morning? Yeah. But it's the same issue with the church. This systemic deception is keeping you from being who you are. Yep. Come on, Apostle. Can we just talk about that a little bit? It's a system. See, what we do is we focus on what the white people are doing, and let's just call it now. See, when things become systemic, all of these things, systemic racism, systemic deception, they're all initiated by Lucifer. Somebody say amen. Amen. But they all have a system in place that the privileged rule the unprivileged.
Yeah, always. Come on.
Y'all ain't saying nothing. See, in systemic racism, particularly in the United States, the privilege, they call it white privilege. Y'all know I don't like to deal with politics, but I got to give you something. They call it white privilege. So those who have everything, who have all the authority, even though you have a Bill of Rights, even though you have a constitution, even though they know what you have by law, that you should be able to have everything they have. But because they have a system and they have the privilege, they subject you. Come on, Apostle. And they don't allow you to vote. And they don't hardly allow you to live in the good neighborhoods. And they keep your schools deprived. Y'all ain't saying nothing. It's systemic racism. Y'all understand? But it was all started by the devil, and it's all implemented by those who are privileged. But can I tell you something? This might upset you a little bit, but systemic deception, even though it was implemented by the devil, it's being implemented by the clergy. Come on, right there. This deception that we live up under Levant is being implemented by those who have privilege in church. Come on. Who is that? Because it's the clergy, baby. It's the people who go to school to be trained to deceive you.
Oh my God.
Because they're living in deception themselves, and they got to live up under what the people say. So we're living up under deception. This whole church, the Bible says in Revelation, that's not my message, it's just coming on. Y'all pray for me. The Bible says that the Lucifer deceived the whole world.
Come on.
So we are all living in this system of deception. And if we don't do something about it, we can keep going from generation, just like in the United States. We march, we do all these things, but nothing ever changes. One or two people get blessed, one or two people get something, but the masses of the minority is still subject to the privilege. Boy, this is too hard to preach this morning. But if we understand that the same thing, can I tell you a secret? Do you know that until we deal with systemic deception, we will never be able to deal fully with systemic racism?
Amen.
Because systemic racism was birthed in religion.
Say it again.
It was the church folk who used the word to keep people in bondage.
Yes, it was.
Oh, y'all ain't saying nothing to me. Y'all ain't saying nothing here. This whole thing. So if we don't change it first, it can never go to the world. If we don't learn, see, as an apostle, my business is not the politics of the world. I know it don't sound good. Because they have told you all your life, the black church is what we need to do, what we need to use to affect the world. That was never God's intent. The black church was a unit to affect the world spiritually. We need to stand in who we are and stop being deceived so that it can go out to the world.
Amen. Uh-oh.
Let me get off of that.
Stay right there.
Let me get off of that. Am I talking to y'all here?
Yes.
We have been systemically deceived, Ms. Vickers. And we have deception. We deceived about salvation. We deceived about inheritance. We deceived about everything. The biggest deception we're living up under is that we don't agree with God because God said, I'm giving you a covenant where I don't deal with sin. And all we do is talk about sin when we come to church. So how much more deceived can you be? Are you all here with me? It's a great deception going on. And we as the church, Lord help me here. We as the church, we have to stand up. Is anybody hearing me? Glory to God. I wish I would have prepared to have some points to give you on this. But this, I thought it was for Friday. But is anybody hearing me? It's a great deception going on. The Bible says Lucifer deceived the whole world. And we are dancing in deception. And we are shouting in deception. And nobody is ever hardly walking in victory in church.
Come on.
Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. People don't even want to go to church no more. I met with some pastors, everybody complaining, all the church full of old people, young people ain't coming to church. We got to do something. But the problem is, if we start telling the truth, the spirit of truth might draw them to come. Are y'all here with me this morning? We have to come up from all this deception, all this self-righteousness that we deal with. God, I wish I would have took notes on this. We have to come up from under this stuff. We have to understand that because we have been deceived, man. We are living in something that's not truth. Good God from Zion. Because you're not deceived until you believe the lie.
Come on.
I can lie to you, and I wish some people would understand that about me. You can lie to me all you want to. You don't deceive me till I believe you.
Come on. Come on. Right there.
Y'all ain't saying nothing. Because you could be lying and I'd be looking at you and say, okay, fine, no problem. Yeah, but I don't believe nothing you said. You know, you're a liar from the beginning and the father of all lies. So I'm not going to believe. I'm not deceived till I fall for the lie. The problem is we are falling for the lie. And the same spirit, God help me, that used the Bible to subject people to less than who they are and what their privilege are in this country is the same spirit that's using the Bible to keep the people in church subjected. And while we use our privilege to stand in our robes and our hats and our canes and keep you subjected, we are there trying to fight the world to get people free while we keep you subject in church. Boy, I wish somebody else was here with me this morning besides you, Demetrius. But thank you, amen, for supporting. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Oh, this is too deep for this morning, man. Isn't this kind of challenging? All weekend, God was dealing with me on this thing, and I try to stay away from it because He dealt with me on three things. He dealt with me on how to deal. See, well, another thing, I'm not going to go there, but I want you to keep this in your spirit because it's coming. The church has got to learn this thing, is how to deal with this spirit of lust.
Come on.
Yes, God.
Because we got it all backwards and everybody's struggling with it.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, that's another message. God was working on me with that. I'm not going to get into that right now because the truth of the matter is, I give you this point. When you really break down lust from God's perspective, it's nothing more than a mental illness.
Come on. Oh, wow. Come on. In different areas.
Whew. Let me move on with that. So let's just talk about standing now. See, Lord help me. Here's what Jesus is so awesome. Somebody say He's awesome.
Awesome.
Jesus knew, based on who He made Lucifer to be, He's a deceiver. Somebody says he's a deceiver. See, Lucifer can't change the truth. He just wants you to believe the lie. He can't deceive you as long as you stand in truth. This is why, friend, Jesus said in John chapter 8, I believe, he said, if you continue in my word, then are you my disciples. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. So listen, watch this now. You trying to tell me I don't just know the truth by reading